AI, what's it going to do? Is it going to take over? Should I be worried? The AI doc, or How I Became an Apocaloptimist, is a documentary that's been released in theaters. It's how do you describe this? It's like you watched a documentary in 10-second sound bites on TikTok. The filmmaker, who I believe is wildly creative, I mean, really creative way of making this movie. There's a lot of hand-drawn images. He draws images. There's animation that augments what he's trying to say.
Very unique animation too. I've not seen.
Yeah. It lists the directors as Daniel Roher and Charlie Terrell. Daniel Roher is the guy on camera. He's a young. He finds out, he kind of mixes his personal life in here, and it sort of breaks the fourth wall by it shows him interviewing people, then takes you out of the interview to see him talking to the people. Then he's talking to his wife about making this movie. Then his father is going through cancer. He has to get treatment. Then his wife becomes pregnant, and the birth of their baby is a thread throughout the making of this film. But it's about AI. And it really is. I feel like a lot of this is really for people who don't know anything about AI. For me, I didn't really feel like I learned a lot more than I mean, I keep up with AI. I kind of know most of what's in this doc. The things that are scary are how few people are in control of these companies and what their agendas are. And a couple people like Mark Zuckerberg refuse to be interviewed. Elon Musk is in the doc in clips, but apparently agreed to be interviewed and then bowed out. Yeah. So, and then what the movie leads to is kind of a call to action to like complain to people about putting guardrails on AI. And while the film addresses the problems and the things that are good that AI will help with, like the medical field and finding cures for diseases in terms of giving diagnoses to patients, there are a lot of great things AI will do. There are a lot of things that could be horrible that AI could do, like make better decisions about wars than generals because of data and spotting trends. But so it addresses like education, countries and war, medical. The one topic it doesn't address at all is Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Like at all in this movie. Zero. Even though he could have included that I really feel this was like the first episode of what could be a, 6 or 8 episode doc series on Netflix. It's very surface level to me, but I was drawn in by the filmmaker's style, but left disappointed. I was left disappointed in the end. Mm-hmm. It did not hit the mark for me. And if you know a lot about AI, you're not going to learn much seeing this doc. But for those that don't really know, it's a really good introduction. So it gets a mixed review from me, a mild recommend. Maybe catch it on streaming. Alan, what did you think?
Yeah, I think I liked the first half of the movie, and then it started going in the wrong direction for me.
Right.
And by the end, I'm wrestling with, do I like this movie or not? And usually when I'm wrestling with, did I like this movie or not? I didn't like this movie. The one bright point of this movie is the animation. Daniel Roher is an artist, and he does amazing things with his drawings and how he animates it. There's a lot of stop motion animation. The conversations between him and his wife that take place in a notebook are, I'm like that's
really
pretty
clever.
It's really clever. But the other thing is Daniel Roher, he just felt like he was inserting himself too much in this, and that as much as they tried, he's trying to express his feelings about AI and the future. A lot of his scenes are performative. You know,
Yeah.
I need to act emotional for this point in the movie, and that's when it starts to feel a bit inauthentic.
He doesn't have the likability of like a Morgan
Right.
Spurlock.
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
inserted himself in Super Size Me. I
Right.
found the website. Sorry,
You
I
know,
was
hold
on my.
on. Let me
Oh,
just finish.
sorry.
The I will say this. By the end of the movie, I could say that I've thought about all these elements of AI, of AI in the world. And so it's a movie that, you know, that really reaches to my level. You know, the idea of who's controlling it, this AI race that is similar to the arms race. I've thought about that. You know how, you know, who is behind the AI, the moral foundations of AI. There's, you know, you bring up that his wife is pregnant. That becomes a big part of it, because do I want to raise a child in the world today? And so
Exactly.
it's kind of like there is that battle that goes on between one half of the AI experts saying that AI is going to doom us all, while the others are saying that this is the greatest time to be a human being. And it kind of floats back and forth between that. And the other thing, the last point I want to make, and I'm rambling for a second because I'm trying to remember what it was. But it was, oh yeah. This is the first documentary I've seen in theaters in a very long time that doesn't make Trump a villain.
Yes. Oh yeah. They have footage of Trump in the movie, and it's
But it's
just
innocuous. It's innocuous.
it was innocuous because he's the president. It was weird. You're right. That stood out to me too. Every time you see Trump in a doc, it's always look at this evil
Yeah.
man, and look, the American flag, evil. He's just in the movie because he's a world leader. Like
Right.
you know, she
In
from
fact, he's making
from
decisions
China.
about AI, and so he has to be in the movie.
Yeah, but it didn't vilify him, which I think was smart on the part of the filmmaker, because the movie will feel dated. It's
Yeah.
innocuous. Here, I was looking up.
Let me give you an example. Let me give a horrible example. There was a movie I
Yeah.
saw a couple of years ago. It was about Filipinos and how they're, you know, Filipinos in America and the history of them in the healthcare industry and all that. And then the third half of the movie is how evil Trump is. And I'm like, oh great, you've just ruined your movie.
Yeah,
You
it
could have
was
told a
just like
great story.
that horrible Orwell documentary, 2 + 2
Yeah,
= 5,
it
where
was an
Trump is
anti-Trump movie.
evil, and it's like, you guys, it's fear mongering. You know, it's that's why people turned off the mainstream media. Just, can you just tell me the news and not the
Just
opinion
present
news?
facts.
But
Yeah.
funny, while you were talking, I was on my phone looking up, because the movie ends with a QR code
Uh-huh.
to take you to a website, and I'll bring up the website here. It's the AI.getinvolved.com site. It says government and AI companies are designing our future without us. We need to reclaim our voice in shaping the AI future. And so far, 2,000 people have given their
Yeah,
information.
fill it out, Chris.
I'll fill it out later, but and we'll share that. But this, you know, that's what struck me about this doc is, like, here's what I want to know. It looked very expensive. Why did it look expensive? The animation, the number of people interviewed. He probably interviewed 50 people in this doc.
Yeah, he got Sam Altman to
Yeah,
come in for an interview.
clip clearance. Like, there was so much. Like, I know what it costs to make a doc like this. This is in the millions of dollars documentary. Plus the fact that this filmmaker spent at least 3 years on it, minimum 3 years or more. So it's very impressive. Who paid for it? And what I mean is, whoever paid for it, because every doc we see these days has an agenda. I feel like most documentaries I don't trust, because if they're political, you can look at who funded it to know what the doc is trying to say. They sort of back end into their you know what they're trying to say based on who funds it. So I want to know who funded this. And they try to really humanize the filmmaker humanizes himself in the movie. So I'm just this guy who's a young dad. I'm married. I'm having a baby. Like, this real human element to it, which was fine. He was in it too much.
Yeah.
He was in the movie.
And he was acting too much.
He was inserted a little too much in the doc. And I thought the interviews were very surface level. I'd much rather hear a deep dive interview with Sam Altman for 3 hours on Rogan rather than maybe this doc. I feel like I would learn more. But so
to the film's credit, though, it feels very current.
Yes.
2 years from now, it won't feel current.
Yes, this doc will be. So if you want to sign up, there's the website there. You can sign up, the AI doc getinvolved.com with a QR code. I saw it in the afternoon. It was like there were a lot of people there, actually. I'm kind of surprised.
There were about 5 people in my theater.
Well, there you go. Do you recommend
funny
it?
Because I recommend it, but it's like I don't know. I think there's too much information being unloaded because he gets the topics he covers is very broad, and it might be too broad to where you're going to forget the first topics.
Right. And the fact that he left out Hollywood obsolescing a lot of jobs in Hollywood, that was because
I don't have a big issue.
Education, medical, government. What about entertainment?
I think the practical element is what's going to affect us as human beings more. The message at the end of basically speak up, talk to people who your politicians, the people in the industry. Look, I think the idea I agree with that AI is being progressed without us. At the same time, I feel like, but what can I do? It's right. There is this sense that we are out of it is not in our control and will never be in our control. And that is very much a fatalistic approach to that. And that's how I feel. I appreciate its attempt to try to get us involved. I just don't know if it's feels like it's too late.
Yeah. Well, do you recommend it?
I recommend it today because it does give a good overview of where we are at with AI. But it's not a perfect movie.
A mixed recommendation from me. I think the things that stood out and bothered me will bother you.
Yeah.
But probably see it when it comes to streaming.